They want to use the thing to go all of North America, all of South America, and over to Europe. So that's about 2 years on the road, and intermixed with that, up to a month off grid. Hey guys, Isaiah here with Campo Vans. Today we've got an extra special treat. So this is definitely the most extensive build we've ever done. Have over 1,500 man hours into it. Let's check it out. Right off the bat, you can't miss it, the rack. This thing's huge. Designed specifically to allow this vehicle to go off grid for over a month. In order to do that, it's got a full roof with storage underneath, and that roof is made out of 1,080 watts of solar. And all of that is actually on electric actuators. And now to keep that down, not only do we have the actuators holding it down, but there's actually magnetic locks, both for security and while you're cruising on the freeway. This thing's not going to open up. You'll also notice around the sides, we've got security lighting, so really bright LEDs, 2 on the front, 2 in the back. And then of course the Fiamma awning. Because we have this huge rack, opted for the really long one, so you got a 12-foot awning on there. So you might wonder how a van like this actually comes to be. We built this one specifically to a client's parameters. They want to use the thing to go all of North America, all of South America, and over to Europe. So that's about 2 years on the road, and intermixed with that, up to a month off grid. So obviously right now, we've got the seats rotated. We're kind of in living mode. So you can see we've got one table that comes out of the shower space, and then one table here. A keen-eyed viewer will notice that on this side, we're actually hanging out in the shower. So this is a super creative way to use the space. A lot of times a big shower pod needs to be in like a 170 or something like that because it takes up so much room. But here we've done, using a curtain, some nice custom stainless steel fabrication, we've made a room here that can be really easily switched into a shower or a living space. You'll notice the table's waterproof, all stainless steel hardware. We have a nylon curtain that actually slides in front of the window and in front of the door down here. You can open this door is where we got the airhead composting toilet. So the door completely folds out of the way. These are of course heavy duty drawer slides, and out it comes. These are really cool units. They're always ventilating to the outside of the van. We really like that. No smell at all. You'll also see this vent here. We've actually had the Rixson System S-Bar heat. One of the vents comes into this locker so that you can really dry out the shower after use if it's a little more humid out. So now we're moving into shower mode, we'll call it. Obviously we've got a curtain here, wraps around. We've got max air vent in the shower. So this is really great. Takes all the steam out of the vehicle. Nice handheld shower here, limit water flow. We've actually got the turn here, which adds a cool feature. We can open the awning up here, and you can actually use this outside. Custom teak floor grate. Keep the water under your feet. So the curtain wraps really nicely around this track. And then it snaps and magnets into place on this pillar. Moving over to the passenger side of the vehicle, we've got the Galley pod. Nice, compact, simple. Nice sink here. This is straight from the tank. Then of course you got the filtered drinking water here. Got a propane 2 burner. This is awesome. Another place where the turn windows are really great because we can open this out and vent off any steam or anything you have going on from your cooking. Down below, tons of storage in this thing. Tons of really wide drawers. Of course, you'll notice how wide this thing is. That's because we've actually used the dining table on a lagoon mount so that it raises up and adds a ton of counter space. So even though this is so compact, you're able to open it up, have a lot of prep surfaces. We've got an overhead shelf, nice face on there with doors on this one. You can see it's a great spot to store your window covers. We've got a ton of drawers, full floor to ceiling length, heaps of storage, pantry items, clothing items, whatever you got, we'll store it. We're gonna house the WeBoost in there. You can also see this is a good example of what we've done to try to reduce a little bit of weight. Obviously this is a small example, but throughout the van we've cut out all the necessary material. First off, freezer, fridge. Really great. In most builds this would be completely sufficient. Because of the amount of time that these clients are gonna be traveling for, we want to add that second fridge. So you can think of this as kind of your garage little fridge freezer, just for all that extra ice cream, you know, last year's pie, stuff like that. Tons of room in here. I mean, it just keeps going and going. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Heavy duty drawer slides as always. So moving back into the bedroom. Flare space really utilized here so you can sleep sideways as usual. Couple windows in there, great ventilation from the turn here. Also have the max air up top, really liking it. Over here, some great clothing storage. And then if it's nice and toasty, and you don't want it to be, run these fans. These things are really great. We've done them in a couple builds now. Really recommend them. They articulate every way, don't use too much power, make a huge difference. We've also built a ton of storage into this bed. Both sides have a big old wing that opens up. Boom. Gas struts, so I can grab stuff out of here. No big deal. They're lockable, folks. And here's that second one. Exactly the same as the other one. Around the back, the garage. A little bit of storage on either side. And the most important part, the systems cab. This fan is powered by 400 amp hours of lithium, thanks to our guys over at Battleborn. And to handle all that load and all those batteries, we're going with Victron. On either side of the garage, all that fresh water we've been talking about. So 2 tanks on either side. With this system, we're able to fill via pressurization. So we've got a sealed breather and fill port. The idea being, because there's so much water here, it's gonna take a long time to fill, especially off a regular tap. So you're able to plug in your hose for the inlet and then attach another hose here, run it out of the way, so that when your tanks are full, you're gonna see that water flowing out. Really get them filled up. We have the lithium batteries stored under the vehicle here. Now, if the temperatures get a little colder, we can switch on some heating blankets that run off the batteries. They can run through a thermostat or just manually to keep them warm. Well, all the systems are stored down in the garage. You gotta have a really nice place to monitor it. So with this build, we decided to go right above the door here. We've got all the Victron gear, so solar monitoring, inverter control, roof lights and actuators, as well as interior lights. And then the whole Rixson system. That's hot air, hot water, all through the diesel of the van. We've also got 2 custom-built Owl Vans storage lockers on the back, fully lockable. These things are great. For the suspension package, of course, we had to go with the Fox. We've got some huge tires on here. So these are 275/70 R17s. We also went ahead and added that Agile flare bump out to fit these big tires. So these, of course, are BFGs, E-load rated. Each one's good for 3,000 pounds, more than enough to carry the weight of this vehicle. This thing's lifted. So we went to Agile, put in a ton of work in the suspension. It's got a 3-inch lift on top of the normal 4x4 lift. They also went ahead and added auxiliary fuel tank. So to add to the off-grid capabilities, this thing carries 50 gallons of diesel total. So we covered a lot. If you missed anything or couldn't quite remember some specs, head on over to our website. You'll be able to see a full spec list of what we put into this build. We had a ton of fun making it, and we hope you enjoyed checking it out. We'll see you next time.